Then Adonai said to Moshe,
Go into Pharaoh and tell him this is what Adonai, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go, so they may serve me. For if you refuse to let them go and hold them still, behold, the hand of Adonai will fall upon your livestock that are in the field, on the horses, donkeys, camels, herds, and flocks. There will be a crushing plague. But Adonai will make a distinction between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and nothing will die that belongs to the children of Israel.
Also Adonai set a specific time, saying,
Tomorrow, Adonai will do this thing in the land.
Then the next day Adonai did the deed. All the cattle of Egypt died, yet of the cattle of the children of Israel not one died. When Pharaoh inquired, there was not so much as one of the cattle of children of Israel dead. But the heart of Pharaoh was stubborn, and he did not let the people go. Then Adonai said to Moshe and Aaron,
Take handfuls of soot from the furnace, and have Moses throw it heavenward in the sight of Pharaoh. It will become fine dust over all the land of Egypt, and will become boils erupting with sores on both men and animals throughout all the land.
So they took soot from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. When Moshe threw it heavenward, it became boils erupting with sores on both men and animals. Moreover, the magicians could not stand before Moshe because of the boils, because they were on the magicians as on all the Egyptians. But Adonai hardened the heart of Pharaoh, so he did not listen to them, just as Adonai had said to Moshe. Then Adonai said to Moshe,
Rise up early in the morning, stand before Pharaoh and say to him, This is what Adonai, the God of the Hebrews, says. Let my people go, so they may serve me. For this time I will send all my plagues to your heart, and on your servants and your people, so that you may know that there is none like me in all the earth. Surely by now I could have stretched out my hand and struck you, and your people with a plague that would have wiped you off the earth. However, I have let you stand for this reason, to show you my power, and that my name might be proclaimed throughout all the earth. Yet still, you exalt yourself over my people by not letting them go. Behold, tomorrow at about this time I will cause it to rain a very severe hailstorm, the likes of which has not occurred in Egypt since the day it was founded until now. Send word, shelter your cattle and all that you have in the field. For every person and animal found in the field and not brought home, when the hail comes down on them, they will die.
Whoever feared the word of Adonai among the servants of Pharaoh had his own servants and cattle flee into the houses. But whoever disregarded the word of Adonai left his servants and cattle in the field. Then Adonai said to Moshe,
Stretch out your hand toward heaven, and let there be hail in all the land of Egypt, on people, animals, and every plant of the field, throughout all the land.
So Moshe stretched out his staff toward heaven, and Adonai sent thunder and hail. Fire came down on earth as Adonai rained hail on the land of Egypt. The hail fell very severely, with fire flashing up amidst the hail, the likes of which had not occurred in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. The hail struck down everything that was in the fields, both men and animals, all throughout the land of Egypt. It also struck every plant of the field and broke down every tree. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, was there no hail. So Pharaoh sent and called for Moshe and Aaron and said to them,
I have sinned this time. Adonai is righteous, while I and my people are wicked. Pray to Adonai. There has been enough of God's thunders and hail. I will let you go. You don't have to stay any longer.
Moshe said to him,
As soon as I am gone out of the city, I will stretch out my hands to Adonai. The thunder will cease, and there will be no more hail, so you may know that the earth is Adonai's. But as for you and your servants, I know that you do not yet fear Adonai Elohim.
The flax and the barley were destroyed, because the barley was in the ear, and the flax was in bloom. But the wheat and the spelt were not destroyed, because they ripened later. Moshe went out of the city, away from Pharaoh, and stretched out his hands to Adonai. Then the thunder and hail ceased, and rain no longer poured down on the earth. But when Pharaoh saw that the rain, the hail, and the thunder had ceased, he increased his sin and hardened his heart, both he and his servants. So Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he did not let the children of Israel go, just as Adonai had said by Moshe's hand. Then Adonai said to Moshe,
Go to Pharaoh, because I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, so that I might show these my signs in their midst, and so you may tell your son and your grandchildren what I have done in Egypt, as well as my signs that I did among them. So you may know that I am Adonai.
So Moshe and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him,
This is what Adonai, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long would you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, so they may serve me. Or else, if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your borders. Then they will cover the face of the earth, so that no one will be able to see the ground. They will eat the remainder of what escaped, whatever is left from the hail, and eat every tree that grows for you out in the field. Your houses will be filled, as will the houses of all your servants, and the houses of all the Egyptians, as neither your fathers nor your grandfathers have seen since the day they were on the earth until today.
Then he turned and went out from Pharaoh. Pharaoh's servant said to him,
How long will this man be a snare to us? Send the men, so they may serve Adonai their God. Don't you realize yet that Egypt is being destroyed?
So Moses and Aaron were brought to Pharaoh again.
Go, serve Adonai your God, but who will be going?
Moses answered,
We will go with our young and our elderly, our sons and our daughters. We will go with our flocks and our herds, for we must have Adonai's feast for him.
But he said to them,
So may Adonai be with you. If I ever do let you go with your little ones, see clearly now, evil is in your face. Not so. Go now, the men, and serve Adonai, for that's what you were seeking.
Then they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. Then Adonai said to Moshe,
Stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, so they may come up onto Egypt and eat every plant in the land, everything the hail has left.
So Moshe stretched out his staff over the land, and Adonai brought an east wind over the land all that day and all night. When it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. The locusts came up over all the land of Egypt and rested on the entire territory of Egypt. So dense, there was nothing like it before them, nor will there ever be again. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they ate every plant in the land, and all the fruit from the trees that the hail had left. No green thing remained, not a tree or a plant of the field throughout all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh quickly called Moshe and Aaron and said,
I have sinned against Adonai your God and against you. Now forgive my sin, only this once, please. So pray to Adonai your God just so he would take this death away from me.
So he went out from Pharaoh and prayed to Adonai. Then Adonai turned the wind from the west, very strong, and it carried off the locusts and drove them into the sea of reeds. Not one locust remained in all the territory of Egypt. But Adonai hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the children of Israel go. Then Adonai said to Moshe,
Stretch out your hand toward heaven, and there will be darkness over the land of Egypt, a darkness that may be felt.
So Moshe stretched out his hand toward the heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. They could not see one another, nor could anyone rise from his place for 3 days. Yet all the children of Israel had light within their dwellings. Pharaoh called Moshe and said,
Go serve Adonai. Only let your flocks and your herds remain. Your little ones may also go with you.
But Moshe said,
You must also put sacrifices and burnt offerings into our hand. Then we will do it for Adonai our God. Our cattle must also go with us. Not a hoof may be left behind. We must take from them to serve Adonai our God. We ourselves will not know how we will serve Adonai until we arrive there.
But Adonai hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was unwilling to let them go. So Pharaoh said to him,
Go away from me. Take heed never to see my face again, because on the day you do, you will die.
Right, you said it. May I never see your face again.